Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this how to do that project, that kind of thing really today. Before we do the week's projects, which are both parchment stroke vellum based, I thought it'd be really cool for you to be able to see the tools that Anna's got that create the projects that we're going to use, and just to show you how to do it. Because I know if I'd already done it, somebody would be saying, oh, how did you do that? So I thought it'd be really nice for you to be able to see what you get in the tools and then how to use the tools. So in the parchment stroke vellum tool set, you get a nice pair of sharp scissors, which you can never have too many scissors, trust me. And as long as they're nice sharp scissors, then you've cracked it. You get a set of 6 tools, 3 of which are embossing tools, and 3 of which are pricking tools, or otherwise known in some areas as paper piercing. So you get 3 embossing tools that vary in size. Show you a little bit nearer the camera. So those are the 3 embossing tools, and these are your 3 pricking tools. And the 3 pricking tools are a single point, a double point, and a treble point for your projects. And they come in a nice handy case like that. And then you get a gorgeous pink mat, and you can see mine is well loved already. I've been using mine quite a lot. I will give you one tip, which I wish somebody had said to me. Use one side for your pricking and one side for your embossing. Because if you embossing as you're using your tools and you go along, if you go over a hole that you've already pricked, you're more liable to go through your parchment or your vellum. So keep one side for nice smooth embossing and one side for pricking, because it just makes sense. And if you want to mark them, then you know which you're using. So that's the main basis of the tool set. We're going to start with some embossing. Now, Anna's got 2 sets of parchment craft goodies available. One is a parchment frames and layers. Well, it's called card layers, but I think there's a lot of frames in there, and they're very versatile, so you could use them as a layer or a frame. And then the other one is the parchment craft embellishments. This week we've got a project on both, so we're going to be using one of the parchment layers and one of the or some of the parchment flowers. So I thought it would be really cool to look at both of them. Now, in the parchment layers, I've already done some, but I want to show you the undone ones first. So this is how you get the layers. I'll show you one that's not been touched. And you're looking at me and you're thinking, oh my word, what do I do with that? Well, when you look at the actual layer, there is kind of like a very faint print on it. I'll show you that way. There, you can pick it up there. And what you do is you take your embossing tool and you run around the edge of the print, or you use the pricking tool. And I'm going to find the couple that I've done to show you. Just move that out the way. So first of all, this is one that I've started. And let's see what else we've got here. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And something else. Yep. So this is one I've already started. And you emboss from the back. And then when you've embossed, you can add colour from the back. And then it shows up on the front. And it's a very delicate colour. See if I can show you a bit better. So I've used lemon and peach and green to start colouring in where I've embossed, and I've used the pricking tools. Now on this one you're going to think, oh, what a mess, Anne-Marie, that pen at the top. But when you turn it over, it's just literally soaked in the colour, and it shows up so well with the embossing that I've already done, and it just highlights some of the areas around the outside. Or we can go to one that I've not coloured in, but I've used my pricking tool and the embossing tool to create something really pretty. So you're thinking, well, that's all well and good, Anne-Marie, but how do I do that? Okie doke. Well, let me find one that... There we go. Now, I'm going to zoom in. I don't particularly like doing this halfway through, but I want you to be able to see, you know, what we're going to be doing. So we can see the detail on the actual vellum layer. So I'm going to pick the middle size of the tools, and I'm just going to turn it in my fingers just so it's not cold. And then you start. I would normally not start in the middle. I would normally start at the edge, and then you start and you follow the lines that are already printed on the layer. Now, for anybody that does parchment craft, I am really sorry if I'm not doing this justice. But in my defence, I'm looking through a camera, looking down and around the edge. And normally, when I do parchment craft, I'm kind of like over the top of it, and I'm using a larger embossing tool than I normally would. But I want to be able to show you the effect. So this is what you do. You simply go around the white lines and you fill in the areas that are printed. Now you can leave them blank, you can colour them in, or you can use your pricking tool to add dimension. But you keep going all the way, and it builds up into the most gorgeous vellum and delicate, so delicate layer that you're gonna, well, you're probably not gonna want to use with the cards, because once you've done it, like this one, the detail in it, you're gonna be wanting to frame it rather than put it in your cards. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's just me. So that's how you do the layers. Now, the pricking on the layers for the paper piercing, I'm going to carry on with the one that we've just started, and I'm going to use the single pricking tool. Let me just look for an area that wants the pricking tool. Well, I think it's going to be the edge, really. So I'm going to simply start pricking at even spaces, even distances around the edge, and I'm going to do, it's like a scalloped pattern around the edge of this, so we'll do that. We won't do the sides of the flowers. So you end up where you're like a little mini sewing machine, pushing your paper piercing tool in, and you end up with a pattern on your paper, and it all builds up until you've got, oh, we'll go back to this one, that, and that's got the paper piercing in and the embossing. You can see where I've been through and pricked all the lattice work on there. So it's quite simple. It's very, very therapeutic. I must say it's extremely therapeutic. You can see all the paper paste in there. If you've got a lot of worries on your mind or anything like that, this is ideal for you. Now we're just going to zoom out again and we're going to look at the Vellum Flowers. Okay, so this is another of Anna's Parchment and Vellum items. In the kit you get the card layers to use in the same range of colours that you get the actual flowers and the hearts. You get some flat adhesive squares that you can use to attach the vellum to the base layer. And then what you get is packets of flowers in card and the parchment overlay for them. So you get various different sizes of hearts, butterflies, flowers, hearts and flowers. Now I'm going to pick one, and I picked it at random. I haven't particularly picked one on purpose. So you get the little vellum overlays. Now these again have got a print on them, so you literally turn them over and follow the print. And I'm quite far away from the camera, so I'm just hoping I'm following the lines. So you do exactly the same on these as you do on the frames. They've got all the work printed on for you, and then once you've done the parchment work you can attach them to the base flower. These fold up and so does the little parchment bits, and you can either position them so they're cross layers, or you can position them so that they're on top of each other, and fold them up so you've got a little bit of movement in them. Or you could curl the flowers, anything like that. Add centres to them, add brads. You've got the adhesive to cover, sorry, not to cover, but to not show the vellum as you're actually using them and sticking them on. So those are the actual little vellum embellishments that are available as well. So this week we're going to do two projects. One is going to be a vellum layer and one is going to be the flowers. And I just hope that this has given you a little bit of help of how to use them and an insight into what you can do, even though they do speak for themselves, that, you know, they are, I won't say they're easy, no, I'd rather say they're easy than quick, because you'll start off quite slow, like me, and then you'll lose yourself in it, and time will fly, and you'll forget you have to put the tea on, or you've got to go, I don't know, pick the kids up, do this, that and the other, and you will get so engrossed in it. And I've really enjoyed, you know, making these. So I hope this has helped, and it's given you an insight into the parchment and the vellum layers and the flowers and the toolkit, and just a little idea of how to use it. You'll be a lot better when you've got it in front of you and you're having a go yourself, because it is, you know, it's a great use of your time, but crafting is anyway. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you watch the project as well. So there'll be one today, Monday, and then there'll be one on Friday as well for the parchment. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.